Hello, beautifuls and beloveds. There's my dopey heart. How are you today? Things are going well here. Quick update about awakenings and beginnings. So apparently Mr. Jacques, we love him, did call and leave a message. Yay! So our goal now is to connect with him, which is easier said than done. We're all very busy. So hang tight, my beautifuls and beloveds. We will be performing someplace amazing. And we just started lining up other, what do you call, informal places to perform. So, you know, we're going to get a lot of opportunities. And who knew that something whack like this could actually end up you know, being a strange benefit. I don't know. Things happen like that. Just go with it, right? We're not trying to cause trouble. We're just trying to get what we need, right? Everybody wants to do that, so here we go with our needs, right? Okay. Good Lord. We had the heater on in here, and now I'm like sweating my buns off. Everything okay down there?
Yes, just...
Do you need me to help?
No, I'm just pulling stuff out of here.
You're like an amazing gaffer. You're so... I wish you guys could see what he's doing. He's hilarious. That's so funny. Stealth man.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, so I hope everyone's doing well. Everything's going, you know, chaotically great. Is that a thing? I don't know what to say. In the midst of chaos and suffering and struggle, I thrive in these conditions, but I don't want to have to be put to the test to do so. Well, who would, right? So, you know, we're not going to let the bad guys get us down. We're going to keep on plugging away. And I basically just had to make a decision of screw it, screw them. We're still here. We're still going to do what we're supposed to do. And if they keep making it hard on us, then it's just evident and evidence against them. And they're just helping us out that way. All right? So today I am going to be talking about, you probably won't even expect this, but I said in, oh shoot, I lost the page now. Oh, here it is. In a former video, see, I'm keeping my promises, and I'm going through the list. AI, artificial intelligence, and I'm also going to do a left and right brain thing. So now I gotta find my page. I keep losing my place. Artificial intelligence. What does a dancer know about artificial intelligence? Well, I'm going to tell you a couple things. Make sure you have a will with this clause in it. And we can only foresee so much in the future. I'm sure people many years ago did not expect a need to have a clause in their will about artificial intelligence and using AI or variations of AI of your likeness and image. So let's say, for example, which is documented fact and truth, I have a clause in my will and all documents concerning what happens to everything that I've created or other things that other people have created, etc. And people cannot use any form of artificial intelligence to recreate my image. So, okay, so say I performed a dance and somebody captures it with a high definition camera, or like we have. Nobody can therefore take that stuff and use digital mapping and recreate a 3D model to make artificial intelligence from that, or another form of animation or anything. In other words, you can't do a darn thing with any of my images or anything that I've made or created, and you can't, like, you know how they did the Michael Jackson thing, and I guess he signed away those rights. I never would. I'd say, you know what, no deal, walking away. I don't need the money that badly. Because it basically gives another entity the right to do basically whatever they want. And I don't believe in that. I believe that some things are sacred, and I'm the artist, and I'm me, and this is my property, my body, and I get to decide how it's used. And some people don't care. God bless you. But if you're like me and you care, and you want to make sure you have a couple things done. Okay, so you have trusts. Make sure you set up your trusts, your will, I guess that's really all. Make sure your copyright, trademarks, all the paperwork therein, that it's very well designated who gets what and who controls what and how it can be controlled. Because the way our society is developing, people don't have enough sense, especially these corporations, not all of them, but some, they just look for the money and they want to keep the money machine coming, progressively, an influx of many multiple, how am I saying, multiple streams of income. And one of those multiple streams of income is to buy product. So like Desilu, they bought, oh God, what was it? Was it CBS Studios? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. RKO Pictures. I gotta refresh. But they bought that, and so they bought, if I'm not mistaken, they owned the entire library of that property, of which was passed on to their kids with Desilu too, or they sold it, etc., right, when they passed on. I don't know how that works exactly with them, but as an example, so let's say I make a film, and it was under my production company, and say my production company no longer ceases to exist. Well then, who owns the rights to all of my images that were made with my production company, etc.? Basically, I'm not going to tell you that detail, but it's not anybody else but somebody we've designated specifically, and it's very important because you don't want, if you're like me and you don't want your image reproduced by somebody else using your materials. Does that make sense? And you have to also be careful too, if you are working for somebody else's production company or production or whatever, if you don't want your image used in a certain way, talk to them. You don't have to get bitchy or anything. Just say, you know what, I feel better because I want my image protected in this way. So, we've done that before for people. They just, you can even handwrite it in on the form or the release form. And if all parties agree, which we mostly do all the time, we're pretty honest about how things are used. And all is well. But sometimes people have to walk away and say, you know what, I'm not comfortable with that. And you don't have to get mean and nasty. You just say, okay, no big deal. And you just move forward, they move forward, and everything's good. But I'm just saying, for your own sanity and for your own protection, if you would like to protect yourself from AI, artificial intelligence, and your image used in those means, make sure you document it in contracts, wills, whatever you're signing your name to, and your image being licensed to somebody else. Another thing about AI, which I find very interesting, let's just look at this as far as morals and ethics. See, my other videos, DanceWarrior videos, I've mentioned stuff like this before. I believe that we as a people, as a whole, I'm not saying everybody or every single person is corrupt, but there are a lot of corrupt hearts, and you have to be careful. And without ethics, technology and the people using it is doomed. Read up on it. It's happening exactly how I thought it would happen. Because I believe that the technology developed quicker than the human heart. In other words, we can't handle it. We can't handle it as users. And it's not a blanket statement. Some people can. And we, or they, the corporations, can't handle it as the producers or the makers of it. Therein lies a big problem, because then you have, excuse me, I ate spicy food and my nose is itchy and running. It's a weird feeling. I feel better a bit. So please forgive me, I'm going to be scratching all night. So without these morals and ethics, like I said, we developed our technology faster than our hearts could keep up with it, and now we have huge problems. Look at the problems we're having because of technology. It's it's almost an unspeakable, unfathomable thing that has happened to us, but we're no different than any other human being, except for the fact we have something that people want. Therein lies the problem for us. And if you are just a normal human being and you're not going around trying to create something, or you have nothing that can be converted into money for others to use and to glean from, consider yourselves blessed in a strange sort of way. So many people are like, oh, I wish I was creative. I wish I had all these talents. You know, speaking from somebody who knows and has all this stuff, wow, I love it. Don't get me wrong. But it's created such a problem, not because I mishandled it, not because I didn't protect myself. It's because there are unscrupulous people with no morals and ethics. That is the problem. So what do? You do what we're doing. You speak up, you get them in trouble. Take no prisoners. Can't. These people, they don't, obviously they're doing these horrible things. They have no kindness or love in their hearts, and you speaking to them nicely won't do it. You have to be very forceful and let them know that the law and the government are coming after them like we did. That's pretty much all you can do. And it's a lot. I don't mean to say, oh, that's all you can do, you're helpless. It's a lot. And there is more that we're personally doing, but I'm not allowed to share that with you guys. Another thing about artificial intelligence, let's just look at the, whoa, I need an easel. Okay, let's look at this word for a second. Artificial and the word intelligence. Do you see what I see with that? Doesn't it kind of contradict itself? First of all, anything artificial is fake, isn't it? Ultimately. So basically you have fake intelligence. Isn't that then deduced to meaning nothing? It can't exist because it almost cancels itself out. So I was looking at this. I actually studied English, and I know sometimes when I'm talking to y'all, you're like, she studied English, really? Her grammar? Her speech? Sometimes I'm just like speaking off the cuff, and I really don't care what I say. Tonight might be one of them. So I was looking at that too. It's like, this reminds me of Big Brother, and is it A Brave New World? Is that the title of that one? And a couple other works that go hand in hand with that dystopian society and Big Brother and all those creepy things. They're hyping up nothing. It's non-existent. So then I was thinking, what if there's a big scam? I'm not saying there is, but this is what I'm thinking. And it's interesting to create hypotheses, your thesis, and support it. Sometimes I just do it to keep the mind sharp, just to create these thoughts and to see, maybe I'm right, you know? It's fun to see if you're right. It's also fun to see if you're wrong, at least for me, because then I'm challenged. Then I'm like, okay, I'm wrong about this. What else am I wrong about? And let's try to fix it. Let me see how much more I can learn and make this statement right. So with artificial intelligence, I was like, what if all these corporations that are making artificial intelligence use that word on purpose because they're basically creating nothing and they're taking us all for a ride? You know, because it's really easy to just take two talking phones and it's pre-programmed by human beings and just let them go at it. I've seen that done, and I'm like, but it's being pre-programmed by people. Artificial intelligence. They're not lying. They're not committing falsehood in advertising because it's basically saying this is fake intelligence, which equates to nothing. You know? So then I'm like, what are some of these tech companies trying to prove or pull? I'm not saying they are, but it's something to think about. And I started developing my thesis statement about that, wondering, have we been had? Because you know how computers work, right? It has always been a series of ones and zeros. which is basically it's either on or off. And from that, you develop what they call flowcharts, which looks like a family tree almost, doesn't it? If this equals this, then this equals this, and then it branches off even more and more, and there you go. You got yourself a nice little flow chart there, right? So what if all of these things are just a scam? Oh my gosh, could you imagine? That'd be pretty interesting. Because then that means nothing really exists. Well, if you look at the digital form, it's not really tangible, is it? Sure, it's goods, you're making something, but you know, you can touch the screen in which it's being played on, but it's not like you're, you know, you touch this, you touch a person yourself, you touch a book, you know, clap your hands, you feel it. So then again, we're talking about the realm of the existence but the not seen, in a sense. You know, go ahead and grasp digital. Where is it? It's like the wind. How do you grasp the wind? You can't, but you can feel its effects. Or you can see its effects, just like the Holy Spirit. So then did you see where I go with this stuff? I think a lot, actually. And, and then before you know it, you're creating a dance based off of ones and zeros. Guys, it's been done a million times before. Go ahead, knock yourselves out and do it. I've even done one. It's fun. But, you know, I'm just kind of disclaiming it. It's not an original idea. It's been done zillions of times before. So, like I said, I don't own that idea. But I do own my copyright and exposition and display of it. And I'm sure you guys all do too. What else? Not too much else I want to say about that because I'm still kind of forming my ideas around it. But I just wanted to put that out there for you guys because you've got this tech world and I'm like, wow, where's all these people are putting their money in stocks and stuff like that, and that can be good. That can be a good thing, but is it then just based on a hypothetical thing and not reality? Because in a sense, it doesn't really exist. The digital tech, right? It's not really there in a sense, especially artificial intelligence. So, getting back to my point, I just find it kind of interesting that people didn't expect this to happen. You read some of the old science fiction books and they kind of touch upon it a little bit, but it really wasn't called artificial intelligence. It was, hold on, I'm freezing. Sweating, now I'm freezing. Good Lord. I still have this virus thing. 3 years this March. No joke. And it flares up. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah. The old science fiction books, they touched upon like robots, that kind of form of artificial intelligence. But what people aren't realizing is that it can go further into you being recreated, cloned in a way. And I have a clause against all this kind of stuff, that nobody can like exhume my former existence and use it for science and all this other stuff. I find it very interesting, and the law is having to expand and catch up to technology. Now that is also something else I find very, very interesting, and you might too. But as artists, I think you have to consider this as much as I have. What do you want for your work? What do you want for your image? I think it's a huge mistake, and this is just an opinion, and I'm not looking bad upon anybody who does this, but I think it's a mistake for people to be anonymous artists, unless they really don't care about their work. Here's why. Because any corporation can come along, and when you're gone, or wipe you out, or however that works, and just put somebody else and prop them up in there. And you will never be known for your work. And again, if you're fine with that, who cares? Don't worry about it. But if you care about that, you must have it documented in your will that you work under a pseudonym or an anonymous thing, and clearly state what those works are. You can put pictures, you can put a whole bunch of things to solidify your mark in the world. I strongly recommend it for people who really don't care about their copyright or their image or anything like that. Fine, you don't have to do it. I'm not telling you you have to. But a lot of people more and more don't like that socialistic communal attitude. I mean, I have done some things where I didn't care and I said, no, go ahead, use it. It's no biggie to me. Hold on, I'm turning this off again. But I make it very clear. And I state the origins and I say, just, give me proper credit. Just, and then there were some things I didn't even care as here. But most of my stuff is, no, I do care. So, if anybody does care about their copyright, and some people like try to belittle you into not liking it or not wanting you to protect it by, how those hint drops go, oh, I don't care about my work and this and that, and they're standing right next to you, and you know darn well they do. They're just trying to hint drop to you so you don't care, so their boss or their associate can steal your stuff because they think you'll let your guard down, the subliminal brainwashing by hint dropping. Power of suggestion, there's the good term. And I highly recommend that you figure out what's best for you and what you like to do. And don't let anybody make fun of you, because that's been a movement that's been trying to come and go since I think the 60s. And, it resurfaced again in like 15 years in like the early 80s. And I'm like, fine, if that's how you feel about your work, but don't put it upon somebody else. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying you have to or not. It's up to you. I'm just informing you of what I'm doing and what I know that maybe it would help you make a decision or help you protect your work. Get an attorney, and I highly recommend you check out that the attorney has your best interest. Get a second opinion, go to a different state and a different city even, because we've found some people, especially out here in this area, that obviously did not have our best intentions, and then we had to redo things, and it could be very expensive to redo, but well worth it. Make sure you have all of your stuff protected in the way you want it protected. You don't have to surrender your rights. Look at me, I ain't doing it. I choose no. But you may choose free, public domain, and that's great too. I will support you, whatever you choose. But then you got to support me too, and not try to pressure me one way or the other, because I don't do that to y'all, right? And if you do, I'm so sorry. I've even been giving my family some words, and I'm like, you ain't gonna tell me to do that. And they're so surprised. I'm like, well, why are you so surprised? I don't tell you what to do. You tell me what you're doing and I support you, as long as you're not hurting yourself or other people. That's all. Okay, so God bless you. Have a great night. I'm probably going to make another short little one segment video about something else. If I think about any other AI things that I want to add, I'm going to do so. But that's pretty much all I have to say about that. So think about all that stuff and keep being the dance warriors you are, and keep being the amazing artists that you are. Much love to you all. Bye.